Zoe. Okay. So, as you already been able to look, we're going to read part of a mystery today. And I have let you choose which book. I brought 2 books. And I let you choose which one we did. So we were going to either do The Girl in the Locked Room or The Collector. And you chose
The Collector.
The Collector. Because I know you love mystery books, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's see. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to read to you chapter 1. Okay? Well, first let's think back to all of the wonderful meetings that we've had. What have we talked about every single time that we've met?
Main idea.
Main idea. Can you remember what the main idea is?
The main idea is the big picture and the most important detail.
The big picture. The overarching theme of whatever it is you've read, right? Okay? I know we've practiced this some of the times that we've been in here, but, so we're going to look, I'm going to show you kind of how this is going to look once we do it. What are the supporting details? Do you remember what the supporting details were?
The supporting details were some details to support the main idea.
Details to support the main idea. And this little, you can call it a graphic organizer type thing, will just kind of help us visually be able to tell that the supporting ideas are supporting the main idea up, because as you can see, I'm cutting this to where it's going to be kind of 2 strips, and then the main idea is in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of how I'm going to make this work? Maybe?
Looks like there's like 2 legs.
2 legs?
Or 2 on each side. And then there's the stomach or body.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we can make it work. Let's see. It may not fold exactly right, but it'll be close.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't know if you can tell,
Yeah.
but sitting on this desk, it's doing what?
Standing.
It's standing up. So it's like a table. Doesn't it kind of look like a table or a desk?
Yeah.
What are the supporting details like? If we say it's like a desk, what are the supporting details?
The legs.
The legs of the desk. They do what? They
support it.
They support it so that it stands up, so that it's sturdy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just like how the main ideas are and the supporting details. The supporting details help support your main idea. Okay? So, here's our goal for today. I'm going to read 1 chapter. I'm going to show you how we're going to fill this out. Then, we're going to read a chapter together, and we're going to kind of fill one out together where you're kind of leading me. Okay? And then, you're going to read a chapter 3 all by yourself, and you're going to fill out one of these all by yourself. Okay? So that's kind of where we're headed. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead. I think we'll have enough time to at least read the chapter 1 before lunch. Maybe even write the main idea down. Okay, you ready? The Collector. Once she has you, she will never let you go. Do I get my own room? Oh, well, there's chapter 0. I've never seen a book with chapter 0 before, but we'll start with chapter 0. Okay? This says, for those who want to know what goes bump in the night. This is not how I wanted my summer vacation to end. Driving with my mom and my sister through cornfields on our way to visit my grandmother's house. For a fun weekend visit, but for good. I was ready to be bored. I was ready to be lonely, but I wasn't ready to face off against an evil power that wanted me dead. Chapter 1. Do I get my own room? Asked Anna when we drove down Grandma Jeannie's driveway. Josie snores. I glared at her from the front seat. Sometimes my little sister could be such a pain. Don't you have a little sister?
Mm-hmm.
Can she be a pain sometimes?
Yes, maybe all the time.
Yes, Anna, Mom said. You both get your own rooms. It's an upgrade, see? You need internet to get upgrades, I muttered, crossing my arms. Grandma Jeannie didn't have any internet service. My phone barely even worked out here. Josie, Mom began, but didn't finish her warning. She had already told me many times not to make a fuss because this was hard on everyone. Yeah, sure. She didn't have to start 6th grade at a new school in the middle of nowhere. Grandma's house came into view. It was huge, much bigger than our apartment in Chicago had been. This place had 3 whole stories, with big windows on each side and a porch that wrapped all the way around. A big yard stretched out on all sides, and past the swing set and a small apple orchard was a thick forest that looked like it was filled with brambles and secrets. Even now, on a warm evening, the trees looked dark and cold. The front door opened and Grandma Jeanie came out. She was shaky and leaned heavily on the screen door, but she was smiling. Even though I really didn't want to be here, seeing her smile made me smile too. It was rare to see her smile like she actually saw us. "Oh, my girls," she called when we got out of the car. She took a shaky step towards us. "I'm so happy you made it." Mom jogged up the steps to hug Grandma while Anna and I got our bags from the back of the car. There weren't many. Mom had shipped a few boxes ahead of us, and the rest of our life was in storage. "Hi, Grandma Jeanie," Anna said, running up to hug her. I was right behind. "Oh, my girls," Grandma said again. I looked at Mom. Her smile looked forced as she watched Grandma, but then Grandma looked back at Mom. "How was the drive, dear?" "It was fine, Mom. I think we're all a bit tired, though." "Well, then, I have some sun tea in the kitchen. Why don't we have a drink out here before dinner?" Mom agreed and went inside to get the tea, while Grandma led Anna and me to the patio table. "She's an old woman," Mom had reminded us a million times on the ride there. "Her memory's fading, and she might not always make sense. Just be patient with her and act like you know what she's talking about, even if you don't. That way she won't get too flustered." "Now, girls," Grandma Jeanie told us once we were settled, her voice a strong whisper, "there are 3 rules for living here. 1. Never leave your windows open after dark, even if it's hot. Number 2, no dolls in the house. Number 3, never, ever go by the house in the woods. That's where Beryl lives." She looked out into the forest when she said it. I stared too. It gave me a chill. Anything could be hiding out there. Whenever we'd visit before, she'd never let us out of her sight, but she'd never mentioned a house before. Or Beryl. Who or what was Beryl? I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to upset her. It was clear from her eyes that it upset her enough just to say the name. "Don't worry, Grandma," I assured her, patting her on the arm. "We'll follow the rules." Mom came out and handed us the sun tea. I didn't really want it. I wanted soda. But Grandma Jeanie didn't have that, so I needed to get used to it now. Grandma and Mom talked about the drive for a bit. I tuned them out. I was trying to prepare myself for tomorrow, my first day at a new school in a new town. It made my stomach hurt to think about. How was I going to find my way around? How was I going to make friends? What if the kids made fun of me because I wasn't from around here? I had already stopped worrying about what Grandma had said. Her rules were strange, but that was just how things were. The only thing I could do was follow along. I only tuned back in when Grandma started talking about Grandpa Tom. "He'll be right down, you know," Grandma said. "He'll be so happy to know you're here." Mom went quiet. Anna shot me a, "Can you believe she said that?" look. Grandpa Tom had passed away 5 years ago. I barely remembered him. "Let's get you inside, Mom," our mother said. "I think you might could use a nap." "Tom will be so happy," Grandma continued. She let Mom help her up and guide her toward the house. "Girls, could you get the rest of the bags?" Mom asked. I knew she just wanted to keep us busy. She hated seeing Grandma like this. It seemed to be happening more and more often. That was one reason we were here, to make sure Grandma wasn't in danger. Mom was worried when she fell down the stairs or hurt herself. And when Mom lost her job, it made sense for us to come here. Or at least it made sense to the adults. It still didn't make sense to me. All we knew was that Grandma wasn't entirely with us anymore. Some days she was better than others. And we also knew not to go in the woods. As soon as Anna and I were safe a distance away, heading to the car, while Mom led Grandma inside, Anna said, "Do you think she's okay?" I shrugged. That was weird about Grandpa, right? I shrugged again, wishing she'd get the hint that I didn't want to talk about it. But she went on. "Who do you think Beryl is?" "You asked too many questions," I replied. I started lugging the suitcases from the trunk while we grabbed another bag from the back seat. A breeze blew from the woods, and I heard a noise that sent another wave of chills down my back. I stopped what I was doing and looked to the trees. Nothing moved. "What are you looking at?" Anna I nearly jumped out of my skin. Did you hear that? I asked her. What? I looked back at the woods, back to her. Nothing. I said, come on, let's get these inside. I didn't want to be out there any longer. That noise, I swore I'd heard an old woman laughing.